Let's call the meeting to order of the Civil Service Merit Board for June 11th, 2025, and we'll start with calling up the roll. Jen Roberts.
Present.
Cynthia Manning-Durham.
Here.
Stephanie Taylor.
Present.
Scott Schimmel. Present. And Bill Lyons. I am Bill Lyons, and I'm present, so we are all accounted for today. And the first item is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting that was held on May 14th. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion of the minutes? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay. Next on the agenda are the reports. First, starting with the staff report from Mr. Bradshaw.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll dive right into, I did leave everyone the stack of handouts. Our stack of handouts grows every month, so you're welcome. So the first one, I do apologize, our color printer's on the fritz, we're working on it. But the posting stats here, I did try to highlight, there's the column, the third one from the right, days from receipt to referral. This is the same spreadsheet you get every month, but I did try to highlight that column because that's really the one we care most about. That's the one where civil service is most directly involved with. So I just want to make sure we're highlighting that particular column. So, but yeah, that's the latest stats. I think there's I know from the COO Grant Rosenberg had recently asked me to prepare some, just to share some of these numbers, same numbers I shared with you guys. I think they're taking an interest in timetables on some of those processes for the operating department, so I did share that. And so there's some areas, still some areas where we can improve, but overall, I'm not terribly disappointed in our particular column. But that's some of that's unavoidable as far as when the posting timelines and the amount of time it takes to grade tests, administer a grade test. So there are some areas there where they're higher than I would like them to be. But overall, that's just a snapshot of what we've done this year so far since January 25. So any questions about any of the positions we worked on? No, I'll do the next handout. This is our actual testing stats. We're doing these are for written tests, as I said before. This is the same handout we've done in prior meetings. So obviously, for some forms of testing, like training and experience questionnaires, which are very commonly used, you're not administering written tests, so the no-show rate is non-existent as long as they do that. So yeah, our goal is to get this column on the right higher. That's our report rate. We want to test more. I do tend to see a lot of good results on the e-skill. It's the pro metric. You see the ones where we have e-skill listed. We do tend to have higher percentages in most cases. So that's a positive development. But yeah, we're just trying to get that number up on our report rate, and if we can make sure the tests are properly aligned to the position. So let's not use a written test, or maybe a written test isn't the best tool, and then that'll help with our response rate. We get more outputs, more better outputs is what we want. So that's just the latest snapshot. I did say last month I would mention fire, because we did spend quite a bit of time on fire. So those numbers are there in this month's report. So I wanted to draw attention to that. That was a big push. The response rate was pretty good on that, as far as so we had 191 that met the minimum qualifications for that job. 146 were scheduled for tests, and 131 showed up for the test. So some of those drop-offs were folks that didn't include all the proper documentation that they needed to include. Your high school diploma, so your personal information documentation, through personal history questionnaires, PHQ forms that are required, some other documents. So the overall number is lower than we would like for it to be. That's not just civil service. Obviously, it's it's a much bigger picture than just civil service. But that is a real point of emphasis. I think going forward is how do we get more firefighter applicants as a city, and we want to be a part of the solution on that to the extent that we're able to, with along with KFD and HR administration. So that's some good stats on the written testing we administered this year. And any questions about some of those? Any of that? The budget. I I prepared the handouts myself today, as you could tell. So, I got the staples in the wrong spot. But it's, appreciate your forgiveness and patience with me on that. Yeah, FY is winding down rapidly. We'll be at the end here in about less than 3 weeks. So, we're in pretty good shape. We want to be under 100%, obviously, budget utilization, but we'd love to be over 90. As far as the first section goes, all personnel costs, we're in good shape there. Most of that's because we've been down a position since January. That was Dr. Hatfield's position. My salary is obviously paid out in fleet, so we've saved a little money on regular salaries, which is going to be helpful as we get closer to the end. The second section, there's the office supply section. Starts at the bottom of page 2 and it goes on to page 3. Not a lot of money there, but we've been we've got a couple of things we're working on purchasing. For the office supplies line item, there's some money there. Trying to do some office modernization stuff. Get a big screen in our conference room, and we've got a new laptop, and we're going to get some Wi-Fi in the office. It'll be really helpful as we go on some things. We're going to utilize some of those funds we have available here at the end. The next section there, which is on starts in the middle of page 3, is our office services section. There has been some movement in this section with I think every time you get near the end of the year, you're rebalancing funds, and the finance department will take some funds from one pot that's doing really well and move to another one that's maybe needs those funds. So there's been a little bit of rebalancing. You'll notice probably down on the near the bottom of page 4, legal outside counsel litigation expenses are both really near the top there, but those have also both been rebalanced because we had $60,000 initially in our outside legal counsel budget. And you may recall from years past we would spend well over $100,000 in Atlanta. Last year I thought we spent $130,000 on outside legal counsel. This year we're at $35,000, so that's an improvement. I do want to draw some attention to 8399, the last line, miscellaneous professional services. We're doing really good on that. That was so if we do have a problem with these other line items over the next few months, we'll have to draw from there. So overall, we're in good shape. The very, very bottom line on the last page, I can turn the page, 84%. We're getting very near the end of the year. So anyway, that's the budget. Always a fun time. It's the last couple weeks of the budget year. Yes, sir.
When you say things are rebalanced, can you explain what that means?
Sure. Yeah, we don't always control this. Sometimes they just do it upstairs. For instance, on the outside counsel one, which is the one that I noted had been rebalanced, we started the year with $60,000 in our budget on 8351 legal outside counsel. And then our litigation expenses was, I don't have the last one in front of me before it was moved, but it was not 47,425, it was like 30. And so we were going high on litigation expenses. We had a lot of hearings this year. As you remember, I think when I started, it's like 30 active grievances, and now we have 3. We got through a lot of that. But so finance, as bills have come in to pay the attorneys, the hearing officers, they had moved some funds from outside counsel to litigation expenses, and that covered that payment. So that's the rebate. Nothing on the bottom line changed. They just sort of moved from one account to another, which they do from time to time.
Thank you.
Yep. The next one I had, this one is in color. I just want to highlight a few things on, our modernization initiatives. We've got, so 3 big ones we've been talking about every month. The scanning project is underway. We've got the first big load of documents have been picked up by the company we've contracted with to do our digitization projects. So hopefully get those returned, get those scans back, and be more transparent with all our minutes and historical material. That's going well. And then the publicity and then the online testing, the other 2 items for our modernization initiative that we got the budget amendment for a few months ago. So I did want to highlight this. There's some great things going on, as a result of what the hiring departments are doing in terms of recruiting. police, public service, fire, and the others, as well as great work that HR, our partners over there are doing. So really seeing some good wins in recruiting. I think we played a small part of some of that too, but I just wanted to highlight a few of the things that when I came on board that we were really worried about. Professional level jobs, police officer, entry level public works, the hot button. We had some recruiting trouble, and we have seen some good results. I want to highlight a few of those of some stats from when we posted them last year versus when we posted them this year, and the number of applicants we got. The top box there is obviously huge. I think the action you guys took in the September meeting when the police have come, and since then, really have exploded on police applicants, plus the recruiting push they've done, obviously, with the boards and marketing campaigns. So anyway, I just want to follow up on some of that so you guys can see that the money we got for publicity has been put to good use, and the board action you can take has led, along with other efforts, but our part of it has really seen some good outcomes. So I'm not sure you guys knew that and saw that. But that's and then the last box there was just highlighting, and you see that every month with some of the other the taste breakdown spreadsheet. But when we do offer real proctored exams, we do get better response rates. That's what we want. That gives you more applicants in the end. So we are working on that contract for the remote proctored exams is being routed right now. The current contract ends in August, and then the new contract will be renewed. We'll go from 150 remote proctored licenses to 500. Really allow us to do more online testing. Folks can take tests from home in certain scenarios. Not everybody, but we'll do it with 500 a year rather than 50. So hopefully that'll make even better testing stats and more people refer. So good stuff all.
These are very significant changes in many cases. Yeah. Especially, I mean, right at the top, KPD, 1,005 as opposed to a year earlier, 358. So, almost a 3-time fold increase.
Yeah, I think
very
it is, and like I said, I don't want to by any means say this was all civil service. It was not. The compensation increases the administration approved. The marketing plan that KPD did, all the outreach that HR does, and then our part of that is to not get in the way, and help folks do well, and then we also make our testing process a little more friendly
we had discussion of a lot of the what needed testing and not. Yeah. KPD had made some went along with recommended changes. I would give them credit for the initiative.
Absolutely.
I think we at least I think you put it well. We need to get or got out of the way if we were.
Part of the team, right. And it's team effort. We're definitely part of that, and I think the effort that the board took in I think it was that September meeting. I'm sure you guys recall, but that was I think that was really helpful. And I've definitely seen. I think we've all seen an uptick, and you guys have seen it too. But the last referral we just did, which was last week, had over 1,000 names on it, which is crazy. We weren't even sure we'd get 1,000 names on our referral. So we had a little technical issue for a while. We had to work with IS to figure that out, and we were doing it for it. So it's a good problem to have.
Excellent.
Yeah, great stuff. Rules project still plowing forward. I expect we'll hear from Devin very soon. Talked to him on Monday about that. I think he's getting really close. Obviously, it's going to be required to have a hearing on all that, so that you guys can get more than your fill of reading rules when the time comes, I'm sure. But it is moving ahead. Outside Legal Counsel, I know we've still got at least one, I think two maybe, and working through circuit court. That was the issue we talked about possibly utilizing outside counsel for. I think Anderson may have an update on that, if it's okay.
Yes. So in the last month, longtime counsel Mike Winchester reached out, advised in the firefighter case that it looked like the limited role of the Civil Service Merit Board in that case to ensure there was a complete record for the appeal is complete, and he does not anticipate additional work in that case. I checked with Deputy Law Director Ron Mills on the other case. I believe that involves a police officer. We don't believe at this time there will be a question that would concern the board's completion of the record and making sure all documents are transmitted to the court. But certainly, if there's a question about that comes up, we can revisit this topic again. Conferred with the law director, and he advised, he would suggest deferring this question pending additional need.
And obviously, Attorney Lyons is still working on the rule project and to address some council issue we have. So that's the latest on outside council. The Oracle Fusion Migration Recruiting Project still going strong. I did meet with Devin and Mark Parker, the IT director, recently, just to make sure we were all on the same page as far as any impacts that rule changes might have on the Fusion setup. Mostly got the two of them together. So Mark is aware that there may be some updates to the rules coming down the pipe before the go live date on the Fusion project. He did not anticipate that would cause a problem, but I felt like it was necessary for the two of them to just have a conversation. I didn't want him in the middle of it winning a project that was about to go live and then us change everything and then not be able to go live. Because other people are involved in that, it's not just civil service. So Mark did not seem worried about that, but I'm glad we had the conversation. And but otherwise, that's still moving forward. Still a lot of input gathering and design work going on. Should still be ready for the fall. Current grievances and disciplinary appeals. We had last month we had 2 grievances and 1 disciplinary appeal. As you may recall, the disciplinary appeal has been dismissed. So there's 2 grievances. One of them actually has a hearing scheduled, which will be in July. The other one has a status update meeting in the next couple of weeks. So that's those 2 grievances that are still active. We did have 1 new grievance filed at step 3 in the last 2 weeks. So I haven't got anything set up for that yet, but that's so we have a total of 3 grievances, 0 disciplinary appeals at this moment. That's it from our report.
Any other questions for Nick? You ready for the HR report?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be very quick. I want to take a moment to introduce our 2 interns that we have, Kate Padilla, and she's with UT Baker Center School. Hello, hello. And then we have Erin Norris, who's from Sanford in Alabama. So we have 2 interns with us this summer, and we've been very busy. Number 2, I want to tell you that Christy Tunzel, one of our long-term HR people, just completed her World of Work certification, which is one of the most prestigious certifications that you can get in the United States, and it specializes in compensation. And she's the only person in the city of Knoxville that has it right now. I know that Brooke Wright is finishing up hers, so we will have 2 people in the city of Knoxville that has this prestigious certification. So we're going to make a big deal out of this, and we're going to advertise this. And it has taken her almost a year to complete it, where it takes other individuals multiple years to do it, but she's been really working diligently on it on the last year. June is the busiest month for HR when we think about processes, because everything ends, the budget starts over, and so HR is a crazy, crazy month for us. We have slowed down hiring. We would love to say we've stopped hiring until July 7th, but that is never the case, because you need to shut it down to start something back up. But we are finishing up. Most new hires will come on July 7th, so we can get a period of time. In addition to that, with the budget approval, when we had 23 new classifications, we had over 121 reallocations. So all of these things have to get put into the system, and then all of the salary changes have to get put into the system. So all of this is for all employees, and it has to be done with a letter in hand by June 30th. So we're working diligently with ITIS to get all of those things done for the class and salary updates. Part of what we will begin in 2026, the FY 2026 budget, we will be looking at longevity. And so Christy Tunzel will help lead some of that conversation about what does our current longevity system look like and some opportunities to improve that. Also, we received approval for the Days of Service project. And the Days of Service project will begin late summer, early fall. And so this will give all full-time employees an opportunity to give back to our community. So we're one of the only municipalities that are doing this, but we are working with the United Way, and we are actually going to be able to give either 4 or 8 hours. Every full-time employee will have the ability to give 4 or 8 hours of service to a nonprofit that is located within the city limits. So we're excited to do that. We're working on updating the administrative rules, and that's all that I have for you all right now. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready for new business item 4, and that's a request by KPD to exempt from civil service the position of firearms examiner trainee through September 30th of 2027. So, Nick, how would you like to describe that, or should we have somebody from KPD who'd like to do
I think
this?
Brooke would probably.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
So this position is currently on an exemption that you all approved back in, I think, 23. It was on a VCIF grant. That VCIF grant ends on 6/30. Two positions were picked up by a new CJIT grant that will pick them up on 7/1 and go through September of 2027. So we're just asking essentially for them to switch over.
This was pretty routine. There was no objections from me or the staff.
Very soon.
Sir, any questions? Sounds pretty straightforward to me. Okay, would I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. That item 4 passes. And item 5 is a request by KPD to exempt from civil service position of NIBIN, don't know what that stands for, but technician through September 30th, 2027.
Same situation.
Same situation.
Yep, that's the second position.
Ditto on that one. Okay.
Can you tell us what NIBI is?
That's right.
So it's NIBIN. I don't remember the exact.
I don't remember the acronym is exactly. They're the firearms examiners. Like, you know, if we get a shell casing, you're covered in crime scene, they look at that shell casing and see if they can match that up too.
Okay, well, they'll remain a mystery.
Ballistics is the B, right?
It's a palindrome.
Okay. With the asterisk that we're not quite sure who NIBIN is, does anybody like to make a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it, so item 5 passes. And we have a request from KFD to exempt from civil service position of executive assistant part-time for 1 year from date of hire. Anybody from fire? Yeah, T.
This request is just to hire a temporary part-time executive assistant to help our current executive assistant who just got hired at the end of last year, so that they can, one, help with some ongoing training, but also fill in when our executive assistant is out. So, and it is just a part-time position.
Well, I guess we should have a motion second prior to discussion. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to second. Any discussion or questions? Chief Shaw.
Just to
Comment
say,
on that, yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I did meet with the chief. A little bit quirky because it's the person he has in mind is a former or a recently retired employee. There's some pension quirks to work through. The chief was really diligent about working with HR. I think the pension board was already, that got resolved. I anticipate no issues in terms of that. And the fact that it's temporary and part-time is within our rules. As far as the charter says, your authority to exempt positions for former employees. So no objections on this. I think that it was a little quirky. Had to work through a couple things, but I think we're all kosher, and it's good.
We can handle quirky.
Yeah.
And I appreciate civil service and HR working with us on that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and any further discussion, questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the item 6 has been approved. And now we are on to the next steps for the executive secretary selection. Jane?
Okay,
Oh,
the moment
Uh-oh.
everyone's
I've been waiting for this one.
trying not to get nervous, okay, well, I will say July will be an important meeting for the board, if we could all be present then. I know it's nice and sunny and vacation month, but that would be ideal, that we're all here in presence. So, right now, the committee is still finalizing up our work and recommendations to the Civil Service Merit Board. And we'll have that information available, ready for the July meeting. So,
Well, I know you've been working very diligently and long on that.
Yes.
I know I express our great gratitude
Yes.
for you and others and who have been on the committee too.
Thank you.
A lot of
It's,
work.
Thank you.
well, thank you. I'm very excited, and thank you to the civil service staff for all your help during this transition, and they've been amazing to work with. I know we appreciate Nick coming in and helping, give a guiding thing through this too. And also shout out to HR helping us get our interviews coordinated. So it's a lot of work from these departments, and David Brace, Stephanie Guptill, Larry McPhee, and Jason Booker. So we're all very excited for July.
So it's great that the employees have been involved throughout, the
Yes.
employee reps too,
Yes.
and the administration. So I think this has all worked
Yes.
very well.
Very, very excited.
Okay, thank you.
Can you
Nick's
remind
got
us,
questions.
can you remind us, like, so in July, what should we expect in July?
So, I will say that we will have an item to vote on regarding the position selection.
So my understanding, and I'm not part of that discussion, is that when they finalize their recommendations, they're going to add that as an agenda item to your July agenda.
So you'll be recommending the person to be,
We
or
will.
will the finalist or the final, or how would that be?
Yes, we'll be recommending any finalists to go out with the public agenda item when that gets present.
Okay.
So I know that it's an awkward situation because it comes out prior to the board meeting, but we will definitely have any information ready for that date.
And it could be one name, it could be more.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, under other business, do we have any other business that may come before the board today? If not, then I will be open to a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Motion.
Motion second, all those in favor of adjourning, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I don't think we really need to.
No.
It's got
It's so slow. Like, oh.
If you get out of line.
I know.
Get that
That's why I
gavel.
called. I know. Like, yeah.